Hello everybody, welcome to small town East Coast USA. It's the sort of place where you can find a bait shop on just about every block, and if you wanted to, spend an entire decade just sitting on a bench without ever seeing another living soul. I figured since there's nobody around, it would be a great place to bring out some 4,000 horsepower big tire supercharged Outlaws and go tear some shit up. I've laid out an 8-mile course, and I'm going to be bringing out all 10 of my supercharged Beam Outlaws to take a rip at it. I know what you're thinking, this looks sorta dangerous. I get it, but don't worry, I've installed a hay bale as a safety measure in the shutdown area. All of the cars you're going to see here are BeamNG standards, and the only mods I'm using are Mio's drag parts and Mio's funny car engines, both available in the in-game repository. If you want to build some of these cars for yourself, you can find all of the information for each of my Supercharged and Braidington episode, which you can find a link to in the description here. If you enjoyed this, hit that thumbs up to remind YouTube this is some good shit. If this is the sort of thing you're into, subscribe for more, hit that bell, and all that stuff that helps grow the channel. I really appreciate it. With all that said, let's go see if we can wake this town up. First car out once again is a truck. Coming off of breaking into the 5s for the first time last episode on the prep quarter mile at Braidington Motorsports Park, this is the Gavril D series. Well, this is still the same truck. Like everything else here today, it's been retuned and detuned for the much less grippy street. Let's see how this goes. The D series runs the 8th mile in 4.579 seconds. Since I built 10 cars for this, I really only had time for a handful of runs at each of them to get ready for this video. I'm sure there's a lot of improvement to be found with all of them, but for now, I'm happy with making some A to B passes. Up next is the always unpredictable Gavril Burnside. If you followed this channel in the Beam Outlaws series, you'll know I have a love-hate thing going with the Burnsides. I love them because they look really cool with the chopped roof and big fat tires tucked under the big fat rear quarter panels. I hate them because they've been a bit of a pain in the ass to tame. Let's see how it goes for an 8th mile rip on the street. Mostly down the middle of the street, the Burnside covers the distance in 4.719 seconds. For the first time ever, the D-Series pickup truck is not the slowest vehicle of the episode. Wow. Here's a car that's more often than not the fastest vehicles of any given episode it's appearing in. This is of course the Bruckell Moonhawk. This thing is normally capable of 5.5 second quarter mile passes on smooth prepped racetracks. I found it to be pretty good on the street here as well. Bruckell Moonhawk runs a 4.370. And we breathe a sigh of relief as the safety bale remains untouched and undamaged for the local livestock. The car itself may have taken a little fender damage, but no big deal. For now, it's sitting on top of the quickest pass so far. Next car out carrying the Big Chief rear wing is the Ibishu 200BX. I'm not actually sure if the wing has much of an effect in just an 1/8 of a mile, but in a quarter mile it's a big part in keeping this thing going straight-ish. hard left right before the cones, and safely to a stop after a 4.378. That's good enough for number 2 so far, just 8 thou behind the Moonhawk. This car works pretty good on the track. I'm not surprised to see it working pretty good here on the street as well. Okay, another car with a big rear wing. This is the ETK K-Series. This is a car that would probably not have worked here a year ago thanks to a physics-defying inability to get the front tires to leave the ground. That problem has been fixed. The K-Series can now get proper weight transfer and can be as much of a handful as any car here, making it a fun, unpredictable ride. Curb riding on and off the throttle to a 4.662 second elapsed time. That's only good for number 4 to the 5 vehicles we've seen so far. Getting this thing to hook up on the street doesn't seem to be a big problem so far in the time I've spent with it. Keeping it straight is another issue. Alright, 5 cars down, 5 to go. This is the Gavril Blue Buck, and it's been a part of this channel from the beginning. The Outlaw versions of these generally go fairly straight on a drag strip. Detuned, it seems to mostly do the same here. Right down the middle, the Blue Buck has a 4.531, and I fear for our hay bale down there. The run is good enough to put the Blue Buck number 3 on the list for now. The shutdown part, well, it thankfully doesn't seem to have damaged our hay bale too badly. The same can't be said about the car. Coming out next is the Gavril Grand Marshal, a car that has seemed to come alive with some track time recently, becoming one of the quicker cars in the supercharged Outlaw group. Well, it's been retuned and detuned for the street like all the cars here today. If it goes straight, it could be pretty competitive once again. Grand Marshal carrying the front end a good long time and runs a 4.350 second elapsed time. That is good enough for the number 1 spot on the list so far. Here comes a usually fast, often a handful, Gavril Barstow. To make it even across all cars, I've limited everything to 14-inch wide drag slicks maximum for the street stuff. The Moonhawk and the Sparstow are the two cars that have been fitted with smaller tires than they would have used on the drag strip. The Moonhawk we've already seen make a good pass. The Sparstow, however, can be a real handful. All over the place, the Sparstow on the 4.506 in. This could get interesting. Poor hay bale. Well, I try to get unstuck. We can see that the run at least was good enough to put the Barstow number 4 on the list so far today. Okay, well I forget to reset our safety hay. Let's bring out the ETK I-Series. This tiny thing is pretty cool. It's either really quick or really sketchy, and that makes it a lot of fun to drive. Almost taking out a pole, off the throttle to a 4.536, and there's that bale I forgot to reset. Ouch. That puts the ETK I-Series number 6 on the list with one car to go. Had it stayed away from the curving, that may have been close to a quick run of the day, but like I said, either real quick or real sketchy. And on that run, we were looking at a bit of both. Our last car of the day in the new Beam Outlaws King of the Quarter Mile, it's the Bruckell Bastion. Last episode we watched this car, in this trim, run an amazing 5.350 at almost 280 miles per hour. While it's not going to rotate the world, because it's a Bastion, I can probably count on it getting A to B. Bastion was a 4.490, and while it felt like a decent pass, that's only good enough to put your King of the Quarter Mile number 4 here on the 8th mile street course. I'm sure this car has much more in it than this. I'm sure all the cars here do, and I'm looking forward to finding it. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing something a little different here today. Until next time, keep it in your own damn lane.